everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to the Vampire Amazon Challenge in The Sims 4. We are following the reign of Queen Darling Cloudy Snarl, who has recently been coming to terms with the fact that her daughter is the last of her line. Life in the vampire court is difficult, and while it might terrify the crown princess to be the last one standing, her survival has elevated the prestige of the queen. Because despite the deaths, when the vampires look at their monarch, they see a queen with blood that endures. We are picking up at 4 a.m. on Tuesday. Crown Princess Nimue was just having a sword fight with the queen. Apparently her brother is coming to join this conversation, but oh, Zoro? Zoro, why would you throw a drink at your sister's face? I don't know why that happened. I have no clue why that happened. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Zoro! Zoro has been obviously quite broken down by the death of Zuleika. We know that he does not get along well with his sister Nimue. But I am very, very surprised by this behavior, given that she is crown princess. I kind of feel like Zoro is starting to feel resentful of the fact that Nimue is the last one standing, even though she is his sister. She is probably the least attached one to him. She is not his twin, she is not his favorite sister, she is not even, his wife. So I don't think, oh, Nimue, and she's coming here to cry. I think in part because of the treatment that she's getting. Nimue to me seems very weak in a way. She seems to take a lot of things to heart. She seems to take this responsibility as a burden and to heart. But guys, something you guys were talking about in the comments a few videos back when Zuleika died, which makes for a really interesting conversation, is your idea of what a successful queen looks like, and the fact that Darling, for many reasons, might not fit into that. And you guys were basically saying that even though Darling has kind of all these accolades from, winning the tournaments and having daughters, at the end of the day, the children in her court, the daughters, they're dying one by one. And her court is collapsing around her, so does that make her a successful queen? You would see that as a failure, which is kind of true. Her court is pretty much collapsing around her. But I do have to point out that I personally feel like the vampires think differently to us. They live immortal lives. And so the rise and fall of a single family is a minute detail. The rise and fall of a queendom, of an empire, that is a big deal. Even if all the daughters in Queen Darling's court die out, as long as she passes the crown to a new dynasty, a new queen, and the idea of a queendom stays alive, nobody is going to fault Queen Darling. She will not be seen as a failure. She will still be a success because she did not allow for the empire to collapse, for the queendom to collapse. And Queen Darling did everything a good queen should. She had multiple heirs. She gave the queendom a chance. As soon as she has those heirs, she's done her job. It is now the responsibility of those heirs to be strong enough to survive life as a vampire. Them living and dying is separate to how successful Queen Darling is as a queen and how people will remember her in the future. As it stands, she has literally done nothing in her career as a queen to be looked down on by others, especially given that she was the first queen. But Nimue, guys, Nimue wants to take a nap. Now, something that I was thinking about recently, I kind of feel as though I have been quite, judgmental of Queen Darling, in that she is not really guiding Nimue a lot, and she lets Nimue kind of nap away most of her time, and I was kind of feeling as though she's being irresponsible with that. But with the recent deaths, I'm almost wondering if Queen Darling is allowing for this kind of behavior in Nimue because it keeps her inside. It keeps her rested up and away from the sun. It basically keeps her daughter alive. It gives her less excuses to participate. And we know that when she was younger, Nimue used napping and kind of being lazy as an excuse to not get involved with court politics because she thought that was her best way of survival. And it wasn't as practical back then, but now it may just be the thing. So she's gonna head inside and take a nap. So let's send her in. I might just send her to her mother's quarters. She's gonna go inside. She is going to take a nap. Come on, Nimue. Can we wrap up the sword fight and go? Let's go inside. Let's go inside. Oh, her energy's getting low. Her energy's getting low. Yes, let's go inside. Actually, I do want to get you to take a shower and then you can go to sleep. So let's take a speedy shower and then you can go take your nap. But seriously, this may just be the thing keeping her alive, is this constant need to nap away her time and not get involved. I'm pretty sure one of you lovelies, quite a few episodes back, maybe when Zara died or was it when Nydia died, you were kind of saying that you could see Nimue hiding from everyone else or hiding from the outdoors almost. Kind of sequestering herself away inside so that she is safe. Almost like she's fearing the sun and fearing what the sun could do to her. And also, in one of the last couple of episodes, I think it again was the episode where Zuleika died, you lovelies were saying that because Nimue is the last one from the girls standing, the queen's prestige would kind of go up because people would see her blood as enduring, right? Everyone's daughters have died, but for Nimue to, despite that, have stayed alive, it means there is something special within the queen's blood that one of her daughters is somehow getting through all of this. Whether it is luck, whether it is divine blessing, or whether it is her own internal strength, she's surviving, and that's all the vampires really care about. Which I found very fascinating. Even if you look at Queen Darling's history, when she had Zorro as a twin with Zara. So she didn't lose any influence in that pregnancy, in that birth. She gained it because Zara, the crown princess, was also born. So she hasn't had a single incident in her life. Actually, now that I think about it, she has not had a single incident in her life where she has lost influence for anything. She's just been racking up influence and gaining influence. So she is a very, very successful queen. Okay, so Nimue, we are done with you. Vladislav wants to play any instrument. So why don't we actually take her up? I don't know if we have the violin. Oh no, it is in the queen's quarters. Why don't you... actually, I suppose I'll give you the violin. You can just play a song. Play a song. Pie in the Window is cute. Go play Pie in the Window. So she's over here. We know why she plays music. She has like a morbid fascination with death. And music is kind of her way to heighten the bliss she feels when she's in these dark, depressing settings. And she's almost thinking of how unfortunate it is that Zuleika died, but the perfection of her death, you know? So she's playing in the crypt, being all creepy. Our Vladislav is. Okay, so she's gonna continue doing that. Lady Caleb wants to play a card game. Okay, so Caleb, let's see who she might want to get together at the cards table. Okay, Crown Princess Nimue, who is napping, so she might not join us. But Nimue... I suppose Nimue, Akira, and Zorro. Okay, Nimue, Akira, and Zorro. Nimue, she's Crown Princess. I think Caleb has noticed that Zorro has a bad relationship with his former now mother-in-law Akira and his sister Nimue, and she's a little bit worried. about everyone's attitudes towards him and how it's going to impact the way he is able to cope with all the death around him. And maybe she wants to intervene and try and, try and balance things out a little bit. Okay, Nimwe's awake from her nap, but I think she would have accepted that invitation graciously because Caleb is very kind, and Caleb is very nice, and I don't think a lot of people would be able to say no to her. And it's a safe activity inside the castle walls. So I'll go ahead and do that. They're all gonna sit down. And Caleb? Well, Caleb's walking off. Maybe Caleb just needed to kind of mediate between them or give everyone an excuse to get together. Yeah. Well, it seems as though they don't want to play though. She got them together and then she walked off, and it seems as though she was satisfied with that, but I think she wanted to give them an excuse to talk it out. Whether or not they will is up to them, but it definitely seems like these three have it a little bit difficult. They don't seem to want to make the effort. Everyone is so lost in their own grief. I feel like more and more the vampires are kind of becoming selfish, which is quite sad. Okay, Lady Lilith wants to chat with a non-household sim, so I feel like that's either going to be Yorick or Zorro. So let's see her relationship with the two of them. She has less relationship with Zorro, so she's actually going to go down and talk to Zorro. So let's come here and we'll enthuse about fitness, maybe staying active to get your mind off of everything that's been happening, because if you're idle, then you will overthink, you'll think too much. But this is kind of intriguing. I feel like Caleb and Lilith almost swapped the way they approach things. Typically Lilith stays away and Caleb is the one who actively participates. This time around, Caleb, yes, got them together because she was concerned about Zorro, but she walked off. Lilith, on the other hand, decided that maybe she should actually talk to Zorro, which is very considerate of her, and I feel like this is a big deal because she doesn't like getting involved typically. But she's gonna talk to him. She might be able to understand him a little bit, kind of bridge the divide that he has with everyone, because she's one of the few people that does not have a relationship in the red with Zorro. So she's gonna try talking him through this very uncomfortable and awkward time in his life. So I'm happy for her. We'll complete that. And then Akira. Okay, Akira wasn't really... She's also, her relationship with Yorick has been really good her entire life, but it is now red in the red. She has not very, She has not liked her son-in-law Zorro very much. That is still in the red, that relationship. But with Yorick, she used to be very fond of him, and she actually wanted Yorick as a son-in-law for a long time. But I kind of feel as though after Zuleika's death, she is holding everything that happened a little bit against Yorick, because she knows that quite a while after Zuleika's betrothal to Zorro, she found it very unfair that Yorick was getting passed from one princess to another, and that in every relationship that Yorick was getting tied to, he was kind of moving further and further away from her. And that whole thing kind of hurt Zuleika a lot when she was younger. And when Zuleika was alive, it was easier for Akira to say, it's okay, you'll get over it, Zorro is better for you. But now that Zuleika's not here, she's kind of realizing a lot of her daughter's unfulfilled dreams and hopes, and I think it's adding to the hurt she already has over losing Zuleika. Which is why she is, I think, taking it out on Yorick even more. And I don't know, I feel like she is friends with Nimue, and I don't think she means Nimue any ill, but I feel like seeing Nimue starting to like Yorick and knowing that they're going to end up married and knowing that Nimue will get the happiness Zuleika never had, I feel like is making Akira a little bit annoyed at Yorick. But let's see who she wants to have a chess session with. Well, at this point, it is definitely Yorick. Definitely Yorick. So she is going to invite Yorick to a separate private conversation over here. Let's see if he joins her. Come on, Yorick. Come on. Are you gonna join? Are you gonna join the game? Yorick? Are you going to join us, Yorick? I mean, Yorick, come on. Join us. Join us, bud. They're talking through the screen still. Poor Zoro, he's just sitting there. I feel like Zoro would feel a little bit pathetic at this moment. Because even though he was married to Zuleika, his mother-in-law has not actually properly talked to him since Zuleika's death. And she is not taking out her anger and frustration on Zoro. She's taking it out on Yorick. And I think, even though it's really twisted, the fact that Akira is associating even a bad memory, not with Zuleika's husband, but with Zuleika's best friend, would be hurtful to Zoro, because it's as though in every aspect of life, everyone's rendering him invisible. I just feel so bad for my boy. I feel so bad for him. Akira, can we not invite Yorick to a chess game? Maybe we need to invite him to a chess game upstairs. Maybe a chess game upstairs. Let's see, can we go upstairs for a chess game? Come on, Akira. Oh, come on, you too. Vladislav's literally playing chess with her right now. Okay, hold on. We need to intervene, guys. We need to intervene a little bit. Can I actually bring him over to this side? Is he gonna join us? Yorick. Are you ignoring us? Guys, Yorick is ignoring us. Yorick. Yorick, come join us, please. Come on, Yorick. No, he walked off. He walked off. Okay, Akira, how about upstairs? How about we try upstairs? Is he gonna maybe get into or have like a chess game with you upstairs? No, he is not. You know what? Maybe he is. He's walking over, guys. I think he's walking over. I think Yorick is walking over. Okay. Well, are you serious? Are you serious? Yorick is walking everywhere but to the chess game that he's been invited to. Well, guys, I think that just shows, because I tried several times. I tried several times to get him to play chess with Akira. The fact that... Are you serious? Are you serious? Guys, he's not even in my household. He's not even with us right now. I wouldn't even be able to save him, even if I tried. You know what? I was going to say, give me a second, Zoro. Just give me a second, please. Please, just give me a second. My brain is still fried. But the fact that we kept inviting Zoro, but Zoro's relationship with Akira got so bad in like the span of minutes, it is at max hate, well, almost max, 98, minus 98 friendship. Almost at max hatred. And the fact that, you know, we kept inviting, or she kept inviting him to a game because she wanted to talk it out with him, but he was kind of avoiding her, I feel, because he didn't like the blame and the treatment that maybe Akira was casting on him. And personally, as someone who didn't choose any of the things that hurt Zuleika, I think Yorick would feel it is very, very unfair for Akira to treat him that way, and for Akira to suddenly twist the friendship they've had for so long. I mean, through Zuleika's betrothal to Zoro, through her few days of marriage to Zoro, Akira has always had a good relationship with Yorick. But after Zuleika's death, suddenly she's blaming him for things that he had no control over. And Yorick seems like the type of person who doesn't want to entertain that. He's not like Zoro, right? And I think that's another one of the reasons why Zuleika liked Yorick so much more than Zoro, because Zoro takes the bad things that people do to him or say to him and he takes it to heart and he breaks down over it, Yorick doesn't even entertain that. To him, it's like, this was out of my control, but I am preserving the life I have. I am trying to improve the life that I have and appreciate the life that I have. And I do not want to basically foster misery in my relationships because of things out of my control. I'm making the best of my life and my world the way it is. So he has declined all of Akira's invitations to talk it out because in his head, talking it out means that Akira is just gonna sling more mud at him, which he's not ready for. And now we can go down to Zoro. Zoro! This might just be the most miserable death that we have. And there's no one around him. There is no one around him. So it is divine judgment. This is our 4th divine judgment. And I think we all know why this divine judgment happened. It's because he killed Vampyre. He murdered Vampyre. So obviously Cloudy Snarl is calling Zoro to the stars. And you know, to be by the bloodline deity's side, because Zoro, by doing this one thing for his mother, is no longer worthy of being in the story of the vampires. He's no longer worthy of living to the next generation. Oh, Zoro. I honestly feel like out of all the deaths we've had, Zoro's is the most miserable, guys. Because of the amount of things he went through before he died. I feel like his death is the most miserable. And you know what makes me so sad? This makes me so sad. But I almost wonder, because just before this, Akira, Yorick, Zoro, they were sitting at the cards table, and I was just talking about how the way Akira is talking to Yorick even hurling insults at Yorick instead of Zoro would be making Zoro feel very pathetic, and I almost wonder if he willingly came outside to accept his punishment, to accept his divine judgment, because he just didn't feel as though there was anything kind of worth living for anymore. Oh, Zoro, I feel so bad for him. He had no happiness. He had no happiness. But literally, with Zuleika's death, I suppose he lost his will to live. Because even though the death of his sisters was very hard, he was trying to become a better person for Zuleika. He was making that effort for her. Oh my goodness. Let's see. We'll delete his inventory. Oh, Zoro. Oh, Zoro. And we were talking about how, you know, Zoro doesn't have like any more there's no matches for him left, but then we were saying that he is potentially going to be a resource for Nimue in the future. Like, she could match Zoro up with another court-born female in the future, given that the vampires do have immortal lives. But he was not fated for any of that, guys. He was not fated for any of that. And it's crazy that we've been talking about Nimue being the last of her line, and she actually is the last of her line. Before, she was the last female of her line, the last one to continue her bloodline, because her sisters had died. But now, all of her siblings have died. She is literally the last child remaining to Queen Darling. Oh my goodness. And you know what? Previously, in the original Vampire Amazon series, this way that I had of doing my breeding order, where I give the queen like way more chances to have children, it didn't necessarily work because we didn't have as many deaths. So you wouldn't see the need for the queen to have that many children, and it ended up just saturating the court. But in Vampire Amazon 2.0, like in this series where we have so much death, the breeding system and the breeding order makes so much sense. Like, you would want your queen to have as many children as possible if most of the children are going to die. She had 4, and out of 4 kids, only 1 survived. So, Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. But these guys, they're gonna now need to mourn Zoro. And Zoro is actually going to be put in the royal. He is a cloudy snarl, so he is going to be put in the royal crypt. I don't think I will save the crypts just for the females. If it's males born to our females, like if it's males born in the court, then I will include them. Not any of the peasant males that we elevate from the population to breed with the females, but any of the sons born to our ladies, they will also join us in the noble and royal crypts. So I need to get that sorted. That was wild though. And you know what? Ever since Zara died, we have been having, I think, almost a death every single episode since Zara died. It's like her death triggered something. Before that point, I feel like the deaths were very rare and far in between. But ever since Zara's death, almost every single episode, we have been having a death. It is wild. It is wild. I completely forgot to mention this, but Queen Darling ranked up, so I wanted to take a quick look at the new powers she manifested. She is now a Grandmaster and has the abilities Influence Emotion, Sun Resistance, Vampiric Strength, and Detect Personality. She also has the weaknesses Undead Aura and Withered Stomach. And I do want to end off the episode here, but a fire just started in the background and I have no idea how that's going to pan out. Okay, there's nothing for us to worry about. Lady Lilith was a hero and put the fire out, so everyone is safe. Unless they wish to stay outdoors of their own volition. But thankfully the sun is going down, so that shouldn't be an issue. With that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.